We need to, as General Bakshi says,
Rahul,
call
can I
off this
come in?
ceasefire. I'm coming to you, Sanju Verma ji. 1 second. Let's listen to him. You can respond at length. I am not going to stop you, please. Dr. Ranganathan. Yes, we have a problem. The government needs to sort itself out, fix the woolliness in its head, and take on these bigots with an iron hand. Yes. But today we must speak up and stand alongside the tikkus, the pandits, the others who are today demanding support.
Good evening, Rahul. You have raised two very important issues, and they're a little bit different, and let me delve into them one by one. The first one is about Pakistan and the Indians who help Pakistan, and the second is about Kashmiri Pandits. Let me deal one by one. I'll come to both very briefly. I've said this before, Rahul, and I've said it to you as well. Kashmir, unfortunately, has been turned into a snakes and ladder game. The ladders are provided by Pakistan and the snakes by Indians. It's as simple as that. I say Indians, but I wonder if these people think of themselves as Indians. Their first allegiance is to religion, second to Pakistan, third to China, fourth to dynasty. It is a fact that Hyderabad could so easily have been what Kashmir is today, and fools in the media would be writing column yards on its struggle, but for one man, Sardar Patel. And Kashmir could so easily have been Hyderabad is today, but for two men, Nehru and Sheikh Abdullah. They set the board down for the snakes and ladder game, which their progenies have been playing ever since, making sure Kashmir's bubbling and ever-present communal bigotry, ethnic cleansing, terrorism, and religious fanaticism don't enter the India narrative. And when it comes to one particular dynast, Miss Mehbooba Mufti, one would be hard-pressed to find a bigger hypocrite or bigot, from choosing a rape accused as an election candidate, to threatening rivers of blood if 370 was abrogated, to shedding tears and mourning the death of terrorist Vani, to saying flags other than the tricolour will fly, to threatening sedition by saying, quote, why would a Muslim majority state want to stay with India, unquote, to wanting to introduce punishment according to Sharia law in Kashmir and death by stoning? Mehbooba Mufti has scaled all methane spewing landfill summits, and now she's playing the victim card. Now let me come to the second issue. Rahul, may I please disagree with the Kashmiri Pandit who said, I appeal to my Muslim brothers to say that please do not kill us. Do Israeli Jews appeal to the majority Palestinians to not kill Jews? It's enough. We have to talk from position of strength. Remember that 2 years ago, the Supreme Court diabolically rejected reopening cases of criminal atrocities against Kashmiri Pandits because, I quote, too much time had elapsed. That's correct. Justice is now weighed against time. Governments come and governments go, Rahul, and we shout and we cry and we make 100 excuses. But we can't get away from the fact that 700,000 Kashmiris cannot return to Kashmir. The mind turns numb at the very thought that a nation is going about its business for 30 years, while 500,000 Hindus have been reduced to refugees in their own land. We are the only large economy in the world that allows this tragedy to continue across parties, across ideologies, across governments, right or left or center. That totem of the left, Rahul Arundhati Roy, once cushioned the crimes of Maoists by calling them Gandhis with guns. Well, Kashmiri Hindus are the Gandhis without guns, and that is the singular reason why no one cares for their plight in this nation. Rahul, just 30 seconds, I beg of you. A refugee accepts his fate and the humiliation that comes along with it, or he must worry about his new life. He forgets how to complain, and that is a fatal mistake, because in today's world, complaints are heard through the gun, not grammar. This nation believes inaction is a medicine. It believes time heals. It believes wounds do not fester. It believes the exiled never return. We are a nation, Rahul, that waits for death to rid us of our remembrances. They call Kashmir the Switzerland of the East. Wrong. It is a Srebrenica of the East.
Well, Sanju Verma, you need to respond.
Yes.
General thrashing us for coming out to do what we all should be doing, improving our lives.
No, but Rahul, I think you're being overly harsh. I think from today onwards, the Mahavakas Agadi, MVA, should have in its combined manifesto a promise that if elected to power again, they are going to impose bans. They are going to beat up people, they're going to shut shops. This should be in their manifesto. But to be serious, Rahul, who is going to compensate for the massive financial loss? Who is going to rein in the goons who attack common people going about their job? I mean, the mind boggles. And I've said this before. There's nothing more dangerous than not reining in rebels without a cause. We saw, Rahul, what happened when the illegal Shaheen Bagh protest was allowed to continue for 3 months, inconveniencing millions. It ended up in riots. We have seen what has happened in the farmer protests and blockades. The financial loss alone amounts to 70,000 crores. And now we have governments calling for bans, not oppositions, but ruling governments. And much of the media is quiet because they speak truth only to power, Rahul. And for them, power is only Modi. So they dare not lift a finger against Shiv Sena or Congress or NCP. The state is weak because everyone is afraid of the political consequences. But I have to ask this and apply Anderson razor, Rahul. Where is the Supreme Court? Is it really supreme when it doesn't have the courage to stop something that is patently illegal? Or does it think right to protest is right to prevent, beat up people, beat up auto drivers, close up shops? Or will it, here as well, ignore the illegality? Rahul, just 30 seconds. I mean, is there such a thing as rule of law, in this country? This is social Darwinism gone berserk. Just 6 months ago, Rahul, the Karnataka High Court ordered the KCVP Bandh organizers to compensate small traders for their losses. This followed a similar judgment of the Guwahati High Court in 2019 and Bombay High Court in 2003 and Kerala High Court in 1997. Dear Supreme Court, listen and learn from your subordinate courts. Issue an order suo motu. दुनिया भर की चीजों को suo motu कर रहे हो. यहाँ पे make these band organizers pay for the massive financial damage they are inflicting on honest tax-paying citizens. Stop delivering lectures all day, justices. Deliver justice.
I'll tell you.
रिक्शा बंद कर रहे हैं।